Welcome to From Shambles to Shambhala. I'm Zia, and we're really excited about this episode, which we're devoting entirely to the 56th gene key, the shadow of distraction, the gift of enrichment, and the city of intoxication. This month we're introducing Ishta, a dear friend whose life's work is the 56th gene key, and she has mastered the art of the divine entertainment business. It's really her life's work to bring joy and laughter to all those she meets. She is our Cupid correspondent on the street, and she will be inquiring deeply into the 56 gene keys through distraction, through enrichment, and intoxication, and finding out what those words mean to people. But right now we'll go straight to Peter to find out what's going on this month energetically with all the distractions. Right now we'll go directly to Peter and find out what's going on this month energetically and astrologically, and please be sure to stay with us to the very end of the show for a really good laugh.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the new moon in Cancer on July 20th. This is one of these very unusual months where we have two new moons in the same sign. So if you recall, on our last From Shambles to Shambhala, we talked about the summer solstice and the solar eclipse aligning with each other on June 20th, and now we're at July 20th, exactly a month later, and on that day, on the summer solstice, we were at 0 degrees of Cancer, and today we find ourselves at just under 29 degrees of Cancer. So this is the completion of the sign of Cancer for this year, but it's also about the new intention for yourself for this next period of time. The second new moon in any one month is called the black moon. So this is a completely black moon, the new moon, no appearance of the moon at all. So this is about beginning a new intention for ourselves in the next period to come. And last month we talked about the stepping into personal abundance. And so this period of time now, still in the sign of Cancer, is about self-nurturing, doing what you need to do to feel fully loved and appreciated within your physical body. It's about home, it's about family, and it's about really self-nurturing yourself and setting the intentions for how you are going to carry this next phase out in your life in abundance and prosperity, but also finding yourself in this place of nurturing and self-sustaining energy as we move through this time. And coinciding with today, we have the entry into the 56th gene key, the shadow of which is distraction, the gift is enrichment, and the city is intoxication. Now this is a particularly tricky gene key because the distraction can come in many different subtle forms, and the distraction is based upon our senses drawing us away from what we really should be focusing on. And it's often to do with the eyes, and the eyes needing some stimulation, and it can be to do with video games, watching too much Netflix. It's this tendency to get pulled away from what really matters in our lives and allowing ourselves to be distracted rather than focusing on what we're really here to be engaged in. And so when we shift into the enrichment, what we're now doing is saying, okay, what is it that I really am focused on in my life? What really matters? And now I make that, whatever that is, that destiny, that focus, I make that the distraction. So this is now what gets me focused on what I'm really here to be and do in the world. And I allow those senses to really bring me into this alignment with my true calling, which then leads to this enrichment. And the highest city of this gene key is absolutely wonderful. It's intoxication, and it means that when you become really focused on what you're here to do and be in the world, just allowing yourself to experience the richness of life and to be fully present in this now moment, it means that you can become intoxicated. You can become the divine drunk, the drunk on spirit itself, rather than on any substance that you may feel that you need to take in. And there's a beautiful aspect to this gene key of intoxication. The root word is toxin, and if you look at the way in which people have fallen in love through the ages, it's when Cupid comes along with the poisonous arrow, and he fires that arrow into your heart, and you fall deeply in love. It's so deep and wounding that you're aching with love. And what intoxication is asking you to do is to transmute the toxin into intoxication. So you fall in love over and over again, and that includes falling in love with yourself. And it leads to this wonderful energy of intoxication. When I have a session with someone who has the 56 gene key, I always ask them, do you have an intoxicating laugh? And immediately they start to laugh. And it's infectious. And it's a really important thing for us to do together, is to have a great laugh and to see the divine nature of what we're living in right now, and to become intoxicated with life, the richness of life, of the beauty of life, the elixir of life that we're living at this time. So it transforms from this being distracted from the real living essence of who we truly are, to become completely aligned with our own quintessence, and to become this person walking this earth in this absolutely divine loving connection to spirit and to life itself. And then finally, I'd just like to mention this period of time that we're now in, which derives from the rising of Sirius, and this connects very much back to Egyptian time. And July the 4th, the American Independence Day, is a critical day because it's the day when Sirius and the sun become precisely aligned. And certain esoteric teachings believe that Sirius is our spiritual sun and the sun is our physical sun. So when they are lined up, it's this wonderful opportunity to bring heaven to earth through the spiritual sun of Sirius, through the physical sun. It's so important for certain belief systems and cultures that man-made structures have been designed and built to align with this energy. So, for example, the Champs-Élysées in Paris, in France, one of the St. Louis is on his horseback right outside the Louvre, and he's looking right down the Champs-Élysées, straight through the Arc de Triomphe. And on July the 4th, the sun rises inside the Arc de Triomphe to align our man-made structures with this Sun-Sirius alignment. Now, obviously that has already happened, but we don't see Sirius for some time to come because it rises with the sun, and so it's blotted out by the sun. And so slowly but surely Sirius rises slightly earlier than the sun, and it's usually round about August the 8th, the 8-8, so-called Lionsgate portal, when Sirius rises early enough in the morning to be seen before the sunrise. And for the Egyptians, this was the key moment in their year, because the way in which Sirius rose before the sun demonstrated to them the sort of season they were going to have, the flooding of the Nile, precisely leading to the fertility of the land and the fruits and vegetables that were going to be grown. And if it rose in this bright blue sparkly colour, that indicated it was going to be a great season. If it came up in a dull white, it meant there were going to be challenges. So the priestesses did all of their inner work in their ceremonies in this time period leading up to the what's called the heliacal rising of Sirius. So we're in that time now. So if you want to focus your energies on that 8-8 Lionsgate between now and then, is this wonderful opportunity to create the perfect environment for us to thrive over the next few months. So I wish you well through this month as we move through the end of July and early August and through that heliacal rising of Sirius.
What distracts you?
Loud, rude people.
Working from home?
Today was dragonflies.
Well, unwanted music that's too loud.
My phone.
People that invade your space. If you're trying to come out to a park and have quiet time and then they're like really loud and obnoxious. And
Sometimes anything that will give me a reprieve from doing the hard work.
Everything distracts me.
I am distracted by stupid things that, it can be TV, it can be
My hair.
puzzles, things like that, because there's something waiting to be done and I'm not ready. So I will distract myself with just about anything to not have to do that work. When I actually do the work, like honestly, you avoid it and avoid it and avoid it because it's going to be so hard and so long, and then you actually get into it and it's wonderful and it's just exactly where you want to be.
Long walks in nature.
Just everybody being respectful,
Cooking really yummy, nourishing food.
playing quietly,
And just being with my bird.
being appropriate, I think.
My phone.
So my distraction and my enrichment actually are the same thing, which is a bit strange to say. But I, work extensively with the gene keys on a daily basis. And so that's the enrichment of spending time really delving deeply into each of the keys according to other people's stuff. So I get a lovely reflection back. But the distraction is by doing that, I don't actually get deep down to do my deep inner serious work because I get distracted by having to organize everybody else's stuff. So finding that balance between giving myself the time to do my own inner work while working with everybody else's is where I've got to find this distraction enrichment balance.
People who really aren't aware of how they are being perceived.
Intoxication is all about Cupid and Cupid's arrow. The word toxic comes from the Greek, which means poison and often is associated with the poison arrow. And with Cupid, it isn't necessarily a poison arrow, it's an arrow that's shot with love, causing the one who receives the hit to instantly fall in love with the first being that they see. So for me, that's intoxication. It's that really deep ecstasy of being shot with that arrow of love and surrendering to it completely. An abnormal state that is essentially a poisoning.
Intoxication means getting out of the brain and into the heart. When you don't think about your words the way I am right now, when you actually just speak from the heart and what comes out of your mouth is spontaneous, and that is intoxication.
A strong excitement or elation.
The intoxication is easy. Just look around us. We're in this absolutely magnificent setting, and it's this richness of life. It's the sensuous nature of life, and it's drinking in all the beautiful aspects of this rich life, and particularly our connection with Mother Earth and those people who are really dedicated to doing this work in the greater world as this moves on into intoxication, becoming the divine drunk. Cheers.